3 years ago, Jo was diagnosed with incurable secondary breast cancer. The news came as a massive shock, not least because she'd been to her GP numerous times with various symptoms, only to be told that she should stop worrying.
I was being told, well, if you're feeling tired, it's probably because you've got a really stressful job. If you've got indigestion, then that's likely just to be the fact that you've eaten things that are not agreeing with you, and it's just to do with acid. My period stopping, it was said, well, you had chemotherapy when you were 30, so that can be quite normal. All of those things really were never put together, even though over a period of quite a few years I flagged up a number of what could have been warning signs.
In fact, Jo had extensive tumours in her bones and liver, which is not untypical for patients with secondary breast cancer, and her story isn't an isolated one. 35,000 people in the UK have incurable secondary breast cancer, and almost a quarter of women surveyed by Breast Cancer Now reported having visited their GP at least 3 times before being told their cancer had returned and spread. The survey found a fifth of those previously treated for breast cancer were being treated for another condition by their GP when they presented with symptoms before being told that the cancer had returned. Jo thinks a lack of awareness from both GPs and patients is the problem, and believes patients who've had primary breast cancer should automatically have a warning marker on their files to remind doctors which areas it can spread to. In the meantime, they should absolutely flag up their history to their GP themselves, which Jo did.
So you have got to be the one to remind each GP that you have a past history of breast cancer, because hospital clinics are only following patients for up to 5 years. After 5 years, you must take responsibility to be safe.
At present, secondary breast cancer is incurable, but an early diagnosis can make all the difference to a patient's quality of life.
Being well looked after when your treatment is not curative is as important as being well looked after when there's a hope of a cure one day.
And Jo agrees.
I was really poorly when it was diagnosed, and I think that things could have been different. Yes, I would have had an incurable illness, but I do believe that things could have been different.
Jo's only 44 but has to have oral chemotherapy and a CT scan every 12 weeks. She doesn't know what the future holds, but is doing the best job she can of living in the moment. Ruth Liptrot, 5 News.